Welcome back, folks, to Only Time Will Tell, AM. Right now, we've got Vic from Scarborough on the line, who's calling in about our recent episode, The Victorian Ghosts at Bridlewood Mall. Talk to me, Vic.
Thanks for having me on the show. I'll just get right into it. I worked the mall security gig for over 4 decades, and I've seen all kinds of shit. Insurance fraud, diamond heists. One time, I even saw a snapping turtle bite 3 of its handler's fingers off.
Holy shit.
There was blood everywhere. The kids hated it, but that's show business, baby. Anyway, as I was saying, I've seen it all. But one night back in '97, I saw something that, well, it changed my life.
Tell me what you saw, Vic.
I was working the night shift at Bridlewood Mall in those days. 34 years old, wife, kids at home, and I barely ever got to see them. But I was working hard every night for them. Until one shift in late January, during one of the worst snowstorms I'd ever seen in the city. And as I was walking through Price Chopper...
Let me stop you there, Vic. Could you explain to the folks at home what a Price Chopper is?
It was a grocery store. They went out of business.
That's right, Vic. And not only that, but this is the very last Price Chopper in the entire country we're talking about. They closed their doors in December of 2020. While some say that Price Chopper's spirit lives on through its corporate relatives, Freshco and Sobeys, anyone of a certain age would agree that it'll never be the same. Okay, Vic, keep going.
So, I was in the Price Chopper. Every night I'd go in and take a peach from the fruit aisle. Oh God, back then, I could eat a peach for hours. And as I was passing the front windows facing the parking lot cemetery, I looked out into the storm and then I saw her.
Who did you see, Vic?
There was a woman standing among the tombstones, paler than death itself. Long auburn hair almost down her waist, flowing in the wind. She was one of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen. In fact, she was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. Her neckline was cut low, her bosom was pouring from her bodice. Her hips were...
Okay, we get it. What happened next?
Our eyes met, and she had a sense of calm sadness about her. But I thought to myself, this lady's gonna get hypothermia. She needs my help. I had to run the opposite way to get to the nearest entrance, so by the time I made it to the cemetery, she was gone. I looked at the snow where I'm certain she was standing, and there weren't any footprints. It's like she wasn't even there.
Is that the only time you saw her, Vic?
The next night, I went back to the Price Chopper window. She never appeared. Same with the night after that. I was certain that I had hallucinated the entire thing until the 4th night when another foot of snow fell. I entered the grocery store around 3 a.m., and through that Price Chopper window, there she was again. This time, I did nothing more than watch her through the glass, and we held eye contact for hours. I was in love.
Ah, Jesus Christ, not again.
And every time we held each other's gaze through that Price Chopper window, she and I would stare deeply into one another's soul. When spring arrived, it was as though my heart was torn from my chest. I couldn't talk to anyone about it. For months I suffered alone, yearning for the next winter to begin like never before. The months passed as though they were decades. By the time the next snowfall arrived, my marriage was in shambles. I became a hollow shell of a man, but to see her once more lit a fire within me. My heart filled with love as though I'd never drained in the first place. Every year was the same, 4 months of sporadic bliss followed by 8 more, consumed by agonizing loneliness. Decades passed until late last year, just before Christmas, when they finally caught me with my pants down, as the saying goes. I never looked away, even after they found me. They had to physically carry me off from that Price Chopper window, which was difficult, may I add, since my trousers were around my ankles at the time.
Good God, man, you literally had your pants down? You said it was just a saying. Besides, what's your end game here? She's an intangible being. She doesn't even leave footprints. It's not like you could bang her or anything. And this is a family show.
Nobody understands, and I'm at peace with that. Every night when it snows, I return to that parking lot cemetery at Bridlewood Mall. I endure the icy clutches of winter in the name of love, the love I bear for Permelia Roy. A love that feels more real now than it ever did from behind that Price Chopper window. Farewell.
Sorry, folks. we don't get to pick the callers here, and, well, this is what we've got. Hey, is it just me, or did that guy sound like he was reading off a script? Anyway, this is only time will tell. AM, thanks for listening. That was the tale of a man who left his wife for a woman long dead for over a century. What has this channel come to? Subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.
Then how do you explain